Hello, Prim friends. So I'm just here in my booth tonight, kind of prepping for the weekend and for the Valentine's sale, and bringing in some new pieces. So I've got price tags and scissors and all that good stuff here. And I thought I would do a quick little video because something is just not right. And it's calling to me, and I want to see if what my suspicion is correct. Now, I could be opening up a can of worms and create a problem for myself that I'm going to have to fix. Or maybe that gut instinct is correct. And can you see maybe here on this table, I've kind of set a table here that has all these beautiful sewing pieces. This unique piece that's right here, and I was going to do another video later on how my whole room is kind of reset up, but I'm going to show you right now. So this is a very early, my research is showing this to be about a 1780s, a antique lace bobbin winder. And if you look over here on this side, there would be like a swift kind of a device that would be on this side where the yarn, the woven spun yarn would have been. And then those bone or wooden spools that they use to make lace would have perhaps been in this little drawer. But this is what they use to fill those little spools with the yarn, or the thread, actually, the thread that they use to make lace. There's a little wooden needle holder, an early strawberry emery, little nitty noddy. There's a new hand hooked reproduction wool on linen hook drug that I have here in the shop now. And then this early cranberry scoop with the kitty cat in there, and a couple of tin candle sconces. But this piece right here, let me put this stuff down. This piece right here is just, it keeps calling. It's saying, fix me, help me. I'm not what I should be right now. And I hope you can see what I'm talking about here. This piece of fabric that's been put in the top has been done later. And that's, I can tell that it's a much later piece of fabric than what would have been on this beautiful piece. The spools would have gone right here for the thread, and this would be perhaps some needles or something in there, and it's beautiful. But this piece of fabric, and while it's lovely, it doesn't feel right. It's not as it would have been. So I'm going to uncover potentially this treasure, or maybe I'm going to end up with loose horsehair and sawdust. But I'm curious. I'm very curious what was covered up, and maybe we will be able to expose this little treasure right here, right now on camera. So I'm gonna, hopefully you'll be able to see that. And this, it was glued in there, so I know that comes out. There's that original little wooden part in there. And there are staples all the way around it. I don't think it's glued, but let's see where I can do this where you can see me. So I just picked this piece up last night, and it's very firm in this top part. So if it had gone bad and they had completely replaced it, I would expect that maybe to be really squishy, like with our current type of you know, stuffing materials. So I'm curious, as I'm doing this, is your heart, you know, are you saying stop? Because there are moments where I have that thought too, and what have I done, you know? But sometimes you don't know until you try, and it just feels like there's something underneath there that needs to be back to the top. These staples, even, you can see that these staples are even old under there. Get all those out. Is that glued? Yeah, it looks like it's glued also a little bit. Oh boy. You know, sometimes you just, sometimes I just leave things for the new owner to possibly do. And sometimes the curiosity just gets to me and I just can't leave it be. And this is most definitely one of those instances. So hopefully I don't stab myself. I can hear my mom saying, "Hey, watch yourself there." The mom and me. I have a little kitchen dish towel that my mom actually bought for me, and it says something about every now and then I open my mouth and I hear my mom. It's so true. I'm sure my boys can attest to that. Can you see way down in there? At that staple down in there? Let's get this one out and then see if I can pull enough of this open. I don't want to cut across the top because I don't want to, if there is something under it, I don't want to cut into it. Uh-oh. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That looks like an early brown. There's fabric under there. Oh my, oh my. All right, well, this is, I think, one of those instances, unless someone took a pair of scissors. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. My hands are kind of shaking here. I don't know how interesting this might be, but if you love primitive antiques, you might be feeling the excitement with me here. Well, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you again, I'm going to do another video here in the shop as I get all these pieces in here, but we are having a special sale, and I have been putting the heart prices on some of my items here this evening. But we are having the heart sale. The official date is February 18th and 19th. But I can tell you that probably not all the shops, but many of the booths here in Seville Antiques have already, look at that. My hand's shaking. Can you see that? That's the pincushion top, and someone at some point in time took it upon themselves to cover it with this piece of like upholstery fabric. But can you see that beautiful brown? Oh my gosh. All right, yeah, my hands are shaking. You know, and it could have been just as much of a disaster, and of course I'm not completely finished here yet, and so it still could be. Yeah, there's a little opening in the top, but you know what? I would rather have that. I would much rather have that than this much later, much more contemporary piece of like upholstery fabric on it. which itself isn't even, you know, current, but it's just not, it's not the look that we are going for. So have you ever, I would love to hear if you've done this on something in your finds across the, can't even talk, across the way. Have you found something that you knew? Oh, I can tell you about another piece that I did this with. It wasn't fabric, but so I had been at an auction and picked up a piece of stoneware that was, it was painted. The whole crock, the whole piece had like a, oh, what's the word? I can't think of the word for it, the type of paint on it. But anyway, somehow while it was setting on the table or bench where it was at in the auction house, the light hit it just right for me, and I could see these little raised, sort of raised bumps all along the edge. So boy, some of these are getting harder. Maybe my hand's shaking more. There were all of these raised bumps along the side, and I thought, my gosh, did somebody paint over a crock that has words on it? So I took it home, and I won the bid, and it was an extremely reasonable piece because, you know, how many people want to painted, just a painted crock would just have been, you know, sort of a junk piece. And I took it home and I put, what's it called? I'm cutting it now at this point. This is not important at all to the piece. Oven cleaner on it. And sure enough, that first coat of oven cleaner took enough off of it that it revealed the wording underneath. And I don't remember if it was a West Virginia crock or what it was, but yep, the blue cobalt decoration came right out from underneath it with that oven cleaner. So sometimes the hint is simply in the shape. Sometimes just knowing the shape of a piece, you can kind of tell that there's the possibility of something really amazing underneath. And so I had very little risk of damaging the crock by using the what's it called? Oven cleaner on it. But yeah. Well, I'm going to stop the video here at this point right now. You can see why they covered it. It did have some damage, but I much prefer this look with that little bit of damage and the original piece of fabric on it than this piece of upholstery fabric. And I will show you what it looks like here when I finally get that all off. But this is, yeah, I am through. I could not be happier. Hold on, keep watching. I'll come back as soon as I have it off. Well, I'm back. And I have pulled that piece of that upholstery fabric off. And look at that early brown where all those pin cushions or those pins were put into that cushion for how many years. Wow. Again. Sometimes we can say, you know, if these pieces could talk, well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they still do. We just need to listen. We just need to listen by looking at it and telling what it's trying to tell us. Be careful if you have something and you think it might have a secret that is underneath something else. Be prepared for the worst. Be prepared for it not to be what you think might be underneath there. Maybe it's gone. Maybe it's been removed. Maybe talk to an expert, see what they say. But this was one of those instances where that piece was telling me something, and I just needed to listen. So take care, everybody. I hope we will see you here on the 18th and 19th of February, and if not sooner than that, I plan to be here at least on that Saturday. And just because I'm leaving that little piece inside, yeah, it's part of its history. It's part of its story. Have a blessed weekend. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.